The Bayside neighborhood is home to many of the earliest residences in Portland. While other Portland neighborhoods experienced extensive losses during the Great Fire, most of western Bayside was left untouched by the flames. During the mid-20th century urban renewal movement, Portland's newly created Slum Clearance and Redevelopment Authority highlighted Bayside as a target neighborhood. In 1958, the authority demolished well over 100 dwellings and small businesses in what we now call East Bayside. Another 54 dwelling units were demolished for the Bayside Park Urban Renewal Project, an area that now includes Fox Field and Kennedy Park public housing. The demolition of the Franklin Street area began in 1967 when 100 structures were demolished and an unknown number of families were relocated or displaced. The city's urban renewal projects had a great impact on immigrant communities in Bayside, including Italian American, Armenian American, and Jewish families that had settled in Portland from Eastern Europe. However, many Armenian families remained in Bayside after urban renewal, but their numbers are dwindling and their homes are disappearing. Long-term disinvestment in Bayside and the historic disenfranchisement of its immigrant communities has led to deferred maintenance on many historic properties or to their demolition, many due to neglect. While many buildings have been replaced with parking lots in the last several decades, recently new development is being undertaken in the neighborhood. The dispersal of social services to other locations in the city and the neighborhood's proximity to downtown, coveted by developers and new residents, is facilitating the neighborhood's transformation. Many successful rehabilitation projects, such as Schlotterbeck and Foss, Coffee by Design, Batson River Brewing and Distilling, complement long-term businesses like Portland Architectural Salvage, U-Haul, and new infill projects like Bayside Bowl and several new housing developments. Two homes located at 15 and 19 Cedar Street were nominated to Our Places in Peril list in July. They were demolished in early August of 2021. There is currently no announced plan of what will happen to these two now vacant lots, and the opportunity to reuse and repurpose two homes is lost. These Cedar Street houses not only represented Portland's mid-19th century architectural history, but Portland's immigrant story. Since the mid-20th century, the Bayside neighborhood has been a historically marginalized community. Urban renewal projects unfairly targeted homes and businesses of immigrant families for removal. Since then, access to historic preservation protections and recognition that have helped with economic revitalization in other Portland neighborhoods have not been available to property owners in Bayside, despite the prevalence of its early building stock. Sharing the history of the Bayside neighborhood's immigrant story, particularly those places associated with the Armenian American and Chinese American communities in the early 20th century, is critical to understanding the full history of Portland. As the neighborhood continues to experience increasing development pressures, including as a location for much needed affordable and middle-income housing, we must ensure that enough of the neighborhood remains to understand and share Bayside's diverse and compelling story.